Representative, if I understand your amendment correctly, this would make it apply. This would exclude competition for intramurals and club sports, correct?
Say that one more time, please.
Your amendment excludes intramural competition and club sport competition from this bill, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you think that there should be intramural competition for women and men?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how would you make that distinction?
I think that when it comes to this conversation and this legislation, this is particularly about trans women. And when it comes to trans women, I would include them as part of being a woman.
Okay, how do you define a trans woman?
I think that you should consult a dictionary and talk to some more subject matter experts. Right now, I'm offering an amendment.
You're the author of the amendment, so I'm trying to understand if you want to make it so that trans women can participate.
Mr. Schaefer, please confine your comments and questions to the amendment.
Your amendment wants to make it so that intramural competition is not part of this bill, correct?
Correct.
And so
it has
that
been mentioned
often.
It has been mentioned actually by the author of this legislation that this is only related to the highest levels of competition. My amendment offers the opportunity for intramural sports to not be included in this bill, and actually addressing what the author has said on countless occasions in this layout.
So can you define for me who would be able to compete under your amendment?
I think that, as I've stated before, that's usually up to the university at this time. When it comes to intramural sports.
But they're going to have to follow the law that we write here. So when they're trying to determine who this bill applies to and who it doesn't, how will they make that distinction?
This amendment.
Mr. Schaefer, you referred to the bill. Please
Mr.
ask
Speaker,
your questions referring to the amendment.
I am referring specifically to his amendment. I know Mr. Brady doesn't like the
Mr. Schaefer,
conversation.
Please confine your comments to the amendment.
Under your amendment, how will the school officials determine who the bill applies to and who doesn't?
I think that is up to the university. All I'm doing with this amendment is making sure that intramural sports are not a part of this bill, as I've stated before.
Again, the university officials have to make a
continue to say the same thing
on which individuals the bill applies to and which would apply under your amendment. How will they know who it applies to?
I think that's a conversation that you need to have with the universities that offer this sport. Again, this amendment only simply works to remove intramural sports from this conversation, which we've often talked about NCAA sports, and we're talking about the highest levels of competition. We do not want to remove all parts of transgender individuals from being able to participate at any level of collegiate sports. That is all this amendment is doing, sir.
How will the officials know that it's a transgender individual?
I think you'll have to talk to the rule-making individuals. I'm sorry, I do not have the answer to that question at this time.
You can't provide a definition
All I
for
want
them?
to do is make sure that individuals, we do not remove intramural sports from people being able to participate in intramural sports.
Can you define for me this class of individuals? Because you're making a distinction now between these two types of sports. On what basis will the school officials be able to determine that your amendment applies?
While I appreciate the diversification of you asking me the same question, it's still the same answer. All I want to do is make sure that intramural sports are not a part of this bill, sir.
I don't think you answered my question, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.